Inmates, how's life behind bars? Not these bars, these bars. I've got a very, very exciting video for you today. Now, I haven't really planned this out. I just want to show you what I found. Now, do you remember a couple of years ago, Weiser introduced a product to the marketplace that revolutionized the rear lights for the R1300GS, the GS Adventure, and then the 1300GS and the GS Adventure. It's also been applied to the S1000XRs. Basically, any BMW that's got these modern multifunctional rear lights that will do run light for you, brake light, and indicator, and it all happens inside the one light. Now, when we first saw them, we thought, they're really cool, but then we could see that these things are friggin' dangerous, but somehow they got through the whatever exams they had to go through for them to be allowed on the road. Now, Weiser looked at that and saw a huge opportunity. How can we make these rear lights safer? So one of the things they did is they introduced the Wizard, and the Wizard is a plug and play product, plugs directly in line into your indicators, and it removes the red light from the respective side when you're indicating. Now, I'm not going to bang on too much about those Wizards right now because that's not what this video is about. If you want to see videos on the Wizards, I've got links down below and up above. I'm sure you'll find your way to them. And we still sell those Wizards today. I'm pretty sure Weiser will still be manufacturing those Wizards moving forwards. But there's a brand new product which eliminates buying the Wizards. So you might not want to buy the Wizards. Okay, and that's the product that I'm going to be showing you today. Now, as of today's date, the 18th of October, 2025, this product is not available to buy. It has not been launched yet. But Weiser have been working on this product for 2 years. And now I have it right here. Now, I've got one product in the box right here, and I've got the other product which is already installed on this motorcycle. And I want to show you what it does because what they've done, it's bloody genius. Now, first of all, those of you who are still watching and you are based in America and Canada, yes, we understand that the Weiser Wizards never worked on your motorcycles because the multifunctional turn signals never were a thing in the US or Canada. They gave you that great big white spadey indicator that was only a red light. Absolutely dangerous. Now, I'm not going to go into this right now, but at the end of this video, there's a bit more on the US and the Canadian lights because this product will work on your bike in the USA and in Canada, okay? So what I'm going to show you right here is for the global market for BMWs, the modern BMWs with multifunctional indicators, and it also applies to the bikes in the USA and Canada. At the end of this video, you will know how to install this on your bike and get your rear lights on the back of your bike operating in amber and red, okay? It does mean you need to buy the European lights for your bike, and I understand you can't buy them in the US, but you can buy them from me here at Bike Thing. We are going to be supplying European lights, original BMW OEM factory lights, and we will be selling them to you in the US and Canada along with this product. You'll be able to plug and play it all onto your bike and it'll work just like what you're going to see today. Right, let's dive into the video. I'm not going to show you how to install it. That's coming later in the year. I don't know when this is going to be available to buy. I think we're going to be making pre-orders available by late November, December. Not sure. I need to wait for the thumbs up from Weiser. Right, okay. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the bike on. Let me put that to one side. I'm going to turn the bike on. Shake it to what, there we are, it's on. Now, as I just told you, the product is already on the bike, but I've got it set to factory settings of the bike. So it's like it doesn't exist on the bike. I've literally programmed it all off. So right now, this is how your bike comes out the factory. There's your run light, there's your brake light. I know you can see an extra light down here, but I just haven't got it turned on. But that light is also plugged into this WeiserCAN. All right, so there it is there. All right, when we indicate, there we go. As you can see, the amber light is lost in that run light and it loses itself even more when we hit the brake. making it very, very dangerous. Like, God only knows how bad it must be in the US and Canada, because all you've got are these red lights. And when you indicate, it flashes red as well. It must be horrendous. But at the end of this video, you're going to find out exactly how you can have this, what you're going to see here on your bike in the US and Canada. Right, so let's turn the indicator off. There we go, back to stock. Right, now I'm not going to go into the programming with you. We don't need to plug it into a laptop. That's so cool as well. It comes, when you get it, it will come with a sheet of instructions telling you exactly how to program it, but I'm not going to show you that right now because it's going to make this video way too long. I just want to show you what this product does. It does tons and tons of different configurations, so you can tailor it exactly how you want it. Right, so starting off, so I'm just speaking to Will, my editor. I don't mind you keeping this bit in here, Will, but just edit out all the programming, okay? All right, so here we go. We're gonna put it into program 1. Okay, so all I've done right now is just made one adjustment, and I've turned on the Weiser Wizard mode. Okay, so this is, if you have bought the Wizards as a plug and play dongles, this is what you'll get. So as you can see already, and don't forget, you'll be able to have this in the USA and Canada as well, but with this, just this WeiserCAN, you don't need to buy the dongles, okay? You don't need to buy the Wizards anymore. You just buy this WeiserCAN and you'll have this functionality. So there we are, it's indicating when I brake, we've just got that on there as well. And of course, we can add a B6 if we want to as well. And obviously the B6 is already plugged in. I've just turned it off in the settings. So everything you see on the back of this bike is only plugged into this WeiserCAN. It's not plugged into any other module that's out there on the marketplace. It's just Weiser. This bike is actually from Weiser. It's Weiser's bike, okay? Right, so we're going to turn the indicator off. Right, so as you can see now, I've turned on the B6 at 10%. Now we do have the ability to turn it up to 20%, 30%, 40%, and 50% as a run light. And then we can also program the brake light as well. But I haven't turned the brake light on. It's just a run light. So if I hit the brake, you can see that's not getting any brighter. These are, yeah, but that's not getting any brighter at all. By the way, there's a really cool feature, which I haven't shown you yet, but it's coming soon, okay? Really cool feature. All right. So now I'm going to turn the brake light. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to show you that cool feature now, but I'm going to turn that off first. One moment. Right, so what I've done now, I've turned the B6 light off, but I've turned on the feature which makes this extremely unique. All right, I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about it so none of you panic. All right, but this bit is incredibly cool. Are you ready? Are you ready? So it's stock, completely stock. We've got visor mode turned on. So for instance, it still does that, cancels out the red light on the respective side. But check out the brakes. Are you ready? Right, now, this cool feature is configurable based on the speed you are doing. I have programmed it so it comes on regardless of speed. Obviously the bike is stationary and it's flashing, but we can program this to only activate over 15 miles an hour. So if you're doing 10 miles an hour, you'll just get normal brake lights. But as soon as you go over 15 miles an hour, you'll get this hyper flash. Or if you find 15 miles an hour is too slow, we can dial that up to 35 miles an hour. If you find that's too slow, we can dial it up to 55 miles an hour. Or like I've got it on all the time. Or we can just turn it off like it was when I first showed you it when we started filming. So this, I think, is bloody cool. Really, really cool. So now I'm going to show you what it does when we indicate as well. So there we are. You can have that straight away through the WeiserCAN. Just tailor it like that, which I think is pretty smart. And then we use the indicator. We've got the Weiser Wizard mode activated. And when we hit the brake, you don't get the hyper flash. All right? But you add a B6 to the pack, you get the hyper flash back again. So I'm now going to activate the B6. Okay, so I've activated the B6 on as a run light, and I've activated it as a brake light. So it's going to go to 100%. So this is what we get without indicators. How cool is that? How cool is that? And don't forget, we have an upper level brake light as well now, which mounts on the 1300 GSs and the 1300 GS Adventures up here. We can put those all together, so you'd have 4 lights. So you'd have red light, red light. By the way, you can turn the red light off on here completely. Is that right? Can you? Ooh, yes, you can. Hang on, let me just double check. I don't think anyone will want to do this. I wouldn't want to do it personally. Where are we? Indicator only. Yes, there's a mode on here where we can turn the red light off completely. It says here in the instructions, only activate that mode as long as you are fitting an extra auxiliary brake lights, one here and one there, or both. And then if you want to, you can have these just as indicators, but obviously don't do that if you haven't got the extra auxiliary light, because you've got no red light at the back of your bike then, have you? So, right, let's indicate. So I'm going to indicate that way this time. Hit the brakes. There we go. This is a solid brake light, but that is doing the hyper flashing. So just so you know, when I'm braking, it's just the first few seconds hyper flashing. So I've still got my hand on the brake, okay? This has got to be the best and safest accessory you can fit onto your 1300 GS or GSA. It has to be. It has to be. Right, let's turn that indicator off, and what should we do now? That is basically the back of the bike. I've shown you everything on the back of the bike. Now let's go to the front. Hopefully you can see that okay. So I haven't activated anything on the WeiserCAN to adjust what's going on at the front, but just so we can see, this bike has been spec'd up with the Enduro pack, so it's got the Enduro pack indicators, but Weiser have also gone ahead and fitted the front handguards with the indicators in it as well, because they can. Now, if you try to do this to your bike at home, you're going to get errors, all right? Because of the way how this works, it's completely plug and play. Sorry, I should have explained this at the beginning. All you have to do is unplug your factory indicators, and then you plug it into the WeiserCAN. That gets rid of the errors. That's the clever bit. Well, there's lots of clever bits here. That's one of the clever bits. And then the wires coming out of the WeiserCAN then plug back into the factory indicators. So it's very important, and I should have said it when I was talking about the back of the bike, because as soon as I saw this product, I thought, you're writing to the CAN bus, and I thought you're going to avoid warranties. And he shut me down very quickly. He says, no, we are not writing to the CAN bus. We are reading CAN bus only. All of the CAN products, all of those items that are plugged into the CAN get unplugged from the CAN bus, and they then plug into the WeiserCAN. That gets rid of the errors, and then a feed comes from the WeiserCAN and goes back to the indicators. That's how the hyper flashing has changed on the factory indicators. It's not coming from the CAN bus, it's coming from the WeiserCAN. It's all done outside of the CAN bus. So he's convinced me, so if I've already lost you on all that, trust me, okay, I promise you, nothing has been changed on the CAN bus of the bike. Nothing has been changed on the ECU. The bike has no idea anything's happening. All they've done is, the clever bit is, where they've unplugged the indicators, you would normally get an error all over your dash. The WeiserCAN's got rid of those errors, so the bike doesn't think anything's been unplugged. It's very, very clever. Right, so when I indicate here, there's no errors on the dash, by the way, I assure you, absolutely no errors at all. So we've got indicator there, we've got indicator there, and these are being run by the WeiserCAN. But what we're going to do now is, we're going to turn them on as a DRL. Okay, so I'm currently in the programming mode right now, and I'm just going to turn them up to 10%. There we are, that's 10%, 30%, 40%, 50%. All right, so if I take it down, for me, I'd like it on a quite a low DRL. That's just me. Hang on, let's just take it down again. Round about there, that's about 20%. I'm now gonna set that in the programming. Right, that's it, we're out of programming mode. I'm looking behind me at a reflection because the rear lights tell you what mode you're in. All right, so now when I indicate, we've got that. Isn't that cool? It's very, very cool. When I put the hazards on, Obviously you got that. You can see they go brighter to 100% when the indicators are activated and back down to there. Obviously, if you wanted those DRLs brighter, you can just dial that up. It won't let you go to 100%, but you know, it will take it brighter than what it is right now. Otherwise it'd be way too bright as a DRL. Yeah, so that's what you can do on the front as well. You don't have to have that on the front. So regardless whether you have both or whether you have just the one. So I've got just the handguard DRL. Well, I've got just the handguard indicators on my GS Adventure. So I will be activating that on mine when I fit it onto my bike. Yeah, it's really, really good. Okay, so now you've seen it on a UK bike with the UK, the EU lights on there. Now let's go and see what it's like on a US bike. I'm literally catching a flight tomorrow. I'm coming to Texas. I'm gonna be in Texas in the next 24 hours. So I'll tell you what, let's, I don't know how to do this. Right, I'm trying to think of one of those cool transitions. Okay, so here it is on a UK, a European bike. This is basically the setup you get on every bike all around the world, apart from US and Canada. But what's it like on a US bike? Well, let's go and find out. Right, here we are in Texas, US. I've got the hat to go with it as well. Thought I'd have a bit of fun out here. Right, so you can see here, we've got a US spec bike. Look at the rear turn signals. Yeah, those of you in US and Canada, you can relate to this setup compared to what we've got back on our bikes in the UK. The customer's already got a B6 light on here, but we're gonna swap these out for European lights. Let me just grab those now. There you go, there's the European light there. We're gonna put this on this bike, but before we do that, let me just show you, for those of you in the UK who aren't familiar with this setup. So remember, this is a US spec. So there we are, we've got a red run light, and he's got a B6 on here as well. This is all wired up through an WeiserCAN right now. When I hit the brake, they get brighter. So try and ignore the B6 for now. Actually, I might just quickly unplug that, just so it just saves some confusion. Ah, well done, thank you. I thought I did. So here we are, I've unplugged the B6 now. So this is what everyone in the US and in Canada have on their 1300 GSs. So there's the run light, there's the brake light. When we indicate, we've got that. When we brake with indicator, we've got that. I agree with you guys, this is so dangerous. If you're turning right off off an interstate or at a junction and you're hitting the brake, you know, the guy behind you, we're not making it obvious. So let's get that set up, which I've just shown you in the UK. Let's get that set up on here right now so I can show you how it all works. So we've got the European light on here right now. So now you can see we've got run and brake. Notice, as I showed you in the workshop in the UK, we've got the rapid flashing all on here. I haven't programmed the WeiserCAN at all, but so we've got that. And when they indicate right, as you can see, that is completely turned off, the red side on that side, and we've just got the amber flashing. And when I hit the brake, that's coming on. Unfortunately, I can't put Dave's B6 light to this because he's cut the plug and play adapter off, and I haven't got the tools here to connect it to the WeiserCAN. So we're going to plug it back into the WeiserCAN that's already on the bike. But there you go. Everything I showed you back in the UK will work on a US bike. Cool, eh? Job's a good one. Okay, it's super hot out here. Right, now, remember, this is all a bit of a suck it and see. Well, it's not suck it and see. We know it all works, but this is the first US spec bike where we are fitting European, UK lights to it. It works, and I'm going to show you it right now. The only thing is, the multifunctional lights we bought with us, until this date today, I thought they were the same lights that go on the 1250 and the 1300, because they are. In 2021, BMW introduced the multifunctional lights in the rest of the world, apart from US and Canada, where they indicate run light and brake light all inside the same unit. Now, there is a difference. These rear lights I bought with me are from my old 1250. The R1250 GS Adventure. And there's a difference in the mounting positions, which now means this radar cover, which is of a 1300, I can't get it back on. So I'm waiting for the owner of this bike to turn up this morning, and he's going to let me know whether he's going to allow us to trim this. It's an off-road instructor's bike, so he might be okay with that, or we put the factory lights back on there. Either way, he's either going to be using these lights right now with a trimmed radar cover, or we're going to send him a proper set in the future, which will be, yeah, so we're going to send him a proper set, because this is a prototype set we're fitting to this. Sweat in my eyes. It's so hot out here. I'm not used to this heat. I'm not used to this heat at all. Yeah, so all we need to do is make sure we've got the 1300 lights on here. The light is the same, but the mount is different. The molding of the actual light itself. Right, okay, here we are again. So hopefully you can see me up there, okay, miles away, but with 5x zoom. As you can see, what we've done now is we've wired it all in. Because we've got 1250 Adventure indicators from a UK bike, they conflict with the radar cover. We're just finding out about this now. This is nothing for anyone to worry about. This is all part of research and development, the fun of just figuring stuff out. People in the US and Canada, when you order this from us, you're going to get the WeiserCAN, and then you're going to get 1300 indicators, which are exactly the same as this, but just a slightly different shape, so you don't get the problem here on the back with the radar cover. So you don't have to do any altering with the Dremel or anything like that. But what we can see right now is we've got running light. We've now put the B6 directly into the WeiserCAN as well. So when I hit the brakes, you can see everything is hyper flashing on brakes. When I indicate and I hit the brake, the factory turn signal on the other side is a solid, but the B6 is hyper flashing, just like I showed you on the bike back in the UK in my workshop. So this is now perfect. It's spot on. What a fantastic setup. This is the first bike in the US and Canada, well, let's just say US and Texas, okay, because I know how passionate and patriot the Texans are, okay. This isn't US, this is a Texan bike, and you've got European indicators on here doing amber and red turn signals, making it so much safer. Just look at that. And then we've got the hazards as well. So if you notice how I've got it programmed with the hazards where it's still showing the red and the amber together, because that's the factory standard, which BMW Europe intended it to do, okay? Turn the hazards off.
Aye.
Bloody fantastic. Okay, over and out. I'm gonna go enjoy the trails now, and the next time you see me will probably be back in the UK. Okay, I'm back. I'm not really. I've just videoed this bit beforehand, but you know, let's just go along with it. I'm back from the US, had a fantastic time out there. I hope I did anyway. I hope I will. What do you think to this? Is this it has got to be the coolest product. I really believe in this product. I really, really do. I'm really pleased that Weiser has asked me to film this intro to this product, just to show that this is the first announcement of it globally, where you can see this product actually working on the bike. It just makes the bike so much safer, doesn't it? It's just great. I love it. I can see these flying off the shelves very quickly when they come in. Now, with past experiences, I don't like making pre-orders available, because some customers can be a right pain in the ass. Because it's just because you're excited, just like the rest of us. You want your item now, and obviously you're passing with money and you want it yesterday. I get that. But Weiser has asked for a pre-order window to be opened. Against what I'm saying, I'm willing to put a huge order on these, because I know what my customers are like. I know what you like to buy. I know this will be popular. At the time of filming this, I have no idea how much Weiser are going to be selling this for. All I know is that we'll be doing our very best to align the prices, so it won't be any cheaper if you buy it from me. It shouldn't be any cheaper if you buy it from Weiser. It's up to you where you want to buy it from. Obviously, if you buy it from me, Weiser win and I win. If you buy it from Weiser, I get nothing. That's not me begging you to come and buy from me, but I'm just letting you know the economics around this product. If you buy it from me, I get a little bit from it as well. And obviously what Weiser do, because they're the manufacturer and they're making a margin on me as well. So appreciate any sale, any business that you do with us. Plus, we also have a huge catalog of other products here that you might like that we can put into your basket. For one thing, we've got these really cool, nice stickers, and everyone likes this sticker, don't they? Especially on their top box. And not forgetting to add, we put in a nice retro suite in the box as well. We always give everybody a retro suite when you buy something from a bike thing. So the fact you're watching this video now means the pre-orders have already opened. There's a link down below. You can see this product on the website. You'll see the price on there. You can pre-order this now. There should be a notification on the listing, like a little sign on there to give you an indication of when we are expecting this to come into stock. Obviously, if you pre-order yours now, then what is coming into stock will never hit stock, it'll come straight to you. So just to cover that off, because we find ourselves explaining this a lot, if we take, let's say 100 pre-orders and 110 arrive in the first batch, well then only 10 go into stock. Sometimes it can happen the other way around. 100 pre-orders come in, but only 50 arrive. Well then the first 50 people they get theirs first. I remember the lower crash bars for the R1300GS from Touratech. We had 5 sets arriving every week, but they never hit stock inventory because you were pre-ordering them faster than they were coming in. I think the WeiserCAN is going to be a similar sort of situation. I'm more than happy and confident enough to be ordering in excess of 100 in my first batch from Weiser because I know what you guys are like, but I've got a funny feeling that they're not all going to arrive that fast. Anyway, I really would love to know your thoughts and opinions on this product, what you've seen here, what it can do. Leave a question, leave a comment. Let's get discussing this down in the comments, okay? Because this is a game changer, especially now. It doesn't just work in the UK and in Europe and Australia and the rest of the world. It works in the US and Canada as well. And there's a huge marketplace in the US and Canada. It's massive, and having just red lights with red indicators is just ridiculous. No wonder they're getting rear-ended all the time. So yeah, can't recommend it enough. Right, I'm gonna shut up now. So get down on that link below, you get clicking, we'll get taking your pre-orders and eventually shipping it to you. But in the meantime, yeah, stay safe behind those bars, not these bars, and I'll see you in the next video.